Federer, der Juniorensieger von 98. In den Jahren zuvor, also 99 und 2000, jeweils in der ersten Runde verloren hat. Aber in diesem Jahr läuft es ja viel, viel besser. Nicht für ihren Mann.
30 love.
Und man weiß ja auch nicht, was eine Niederlage hier bedeuten könnte für Pete Sampras. Er sagt zwar, er möchte noch ein paar Jahre spielen, aber es könnte für das Jahr 2001 sein letzter Auftritt sein. Und wer weiß, seine Träume von der Familie.
40 love.
Frau und Heim hat er ja. Es fehlen die Kinder. Vielleicht kriegt das ja Priorität. Klasse Return von Federer. Dem geht es jetzt aber doch ein bisschen locker aus der Hand.
40, 15. Game Sampras. First game, fourth set.
Ja, was ich sagen wollte, vielleicht ist es ja auch, wenn Sampras hier verlieren sollte, schon eine Art Abschiedsvorstellung. Also da muss Sampras um die Teilnahme bangen, denn nur die ersten 8 sind zugelassen, die ersten 8 des Champions Race. Davon möchte das Publikum natürlich mehr sehen. Artistische Einlagen von beiden.
Love 15.
Beide produzieren die schwersten Schläge. Rückhand über Kopf.
Love 30.
Ich glaube, da hörten wir auf Schweizerdeutsch ein verdammt nochmal.
$15, 30.
Den hätte er natürlich zur Sicherheit auch noch mal springen lassen können. Aber er bevorzugt die schwierigere Variante. Nicht ganz ungefährlich.
$40, 30. Game, Federer.
Auch wenn Pete Sampras dieses heutige Spiel hier noch gewinnen sollte, ich glaube, dass alle Kritiker sich da einig sein.
Indeed, you get a sense that although Sampras was pushed to 5 sets by Barry Cowan,
who?
This is not Barry Cowan.
No.
This is Roger Federer.
No. Sampras just had a love 30 lead. Federer rebounded to win 4 straight points.
15 love.
And while we have a quick second, our man McGuinness came through for us. The quarterfinals Davis Cup. You've got to hear these scores. Clement beat Rosé first round. 6-3, 3-6, 7-6, 6-7, 15-13. That's the first match. We've talked how Escudé beat Federer 4 close sets.
30 love.
The doubles. Federer Monza 5-7, 6-3, 7-6, 6-7, 9-7. Federer comes back, beats Clement in 4. The final match, 2 all in matches. Next match wins. Escudé beats Boston. 1-6, 7-5, 6-7, 6-4, 8-6 in the fifth set.
14
Basel
love.
had a match point. Rosé couldn't play because he was still exhausted from Friday's match because he's an old guy. I had to say that fast because this game has gone in a hurry.
Yeah.
That's what Davis Cup is all about.
And can you imagine what that must have been like in Switzerland, that French win like that?
Must,
Those kind of
yeah,
matches, yeah.
they're still getting over it.
Well, we're live on center court. Pete Sampras, the reigning king of the grass. 7 championships here in 8 years. But he is in serious trouble today, because that's been happening to him. Even though he won that point all day long, Roger Federer has run down whatever the great Sampras has thrown at him. Even today, when Pete Sampras has been able to win, John, it always seems like he's had to do a little bit extra to beat Federer.
Federer is a major hustler, but this is cute and sweet. I mean, he came up with the goods when he needed to finish the game off. Problem with what Pete did when that hit that drop volley is that Federer read it.
15 love.
He's picking up and anticipating what Pete Sampras is giving him, and that's why Federer has been able to get out to a 2-1 lead. Here's a guy 19 about to turn 20. Sampras 29 about to turn 30. And this guy goes, I know exactly what you're thinking, what you're going to do. I think I'm going to beat you unless I get tight and choke. I mean, that's
30 love.
making old Pistol Pete take a pause or two.
You know, which brings the obvious question of 20 years ago on this court, you beat Bjorn Borg to end his run of 5 consecutive Wimbledons, 41 straight matches. Now, you had played him in the finals the year before, so, I mean, was your mindset that way? Was your mindset, I don't care that you won 41 in a row, I'm going to beat you today?
For the first time, I
14
did
love.
feel like I wanted to be part of the history a little bit, and I think that cost me, even though I felt like I should have won. The second time, it was, but also, I must say, it sensed like he was ready to get it over with.
Bjorn was.
Yeah, and it doesn't look that way with old Pistol Pete. I mean, he didn't look that unhappy that he lost. There's a quick, easy game for Federer. Level this 4-set, 2-all.
2 games.
Time
over.
greats
Full
at the
set.
Big W.
Speaking of Bjorn,
They threw me a bone there. Borg, well, we know how many he's won. Sampras, 7. My idol, Rod Laver, Becker. I appreciate that. Get at least one thing that I'm in still.
but does Federer have to have that almost arrogance today? In arrogance, I mean in a good sense, that I don't care how good Pete Sampras has been here, I can beat him.
I think that's what you're feeling. I mean, he's really is one of the most popular guys in the locker room. A humble guy, but you feel that he knows he's good, though. And it's time for me to. Why should he feel that he should let Sampras win anymore? Isn't 7 enough? Spread the word. Most people don't do that. That's something special there.
15 all.
Sampras stops that momentum moving forward, yet still has enough to stick that away for a winner.
Oh. 30-15. $40-15.
19 aces now for Sampras. His match with Barry Cowan, he had 29. That's the most he's ever had in a Wimbledon match.
Well, that's the one positive when you go 5 sets. Your ace count gets up. Henman waiting anxiously in the locker room along with Todd Martin, wondering as Federer smacks that winner whether or not there's going to be this is going to be over in 4.
14,
We got to get
15.
ourselves ready. We may be out there in 15-20 minutes or headed toward a 5th set.
Game Sampras.
There's that intuition. Sampras lets it go for the hold. The story at Center Court, Wimbledon. 2.5 hours of tennis. Just past 5 p.m. on what has been a wonderful day to play tennis. No interruptions. And Roger Federer has played the role of a very poised foe for Pete Sampras. As always, the difference is slight.
15.
A tie break with a call that Sampras disagreed with. That may have been a decisive point in the first set tie break. Sampras with 1 break to win the second set. Federer breaking it 4-all in the third set.
It's a great guy to watch too. I mean, so for me to question the fact that we know it's a close match, the fact his tactics, that he stays back, I like it as sitting here as a commentator though, because it makes it a lot more fun to watch. I think he'd be extremely effective serving and volleying on both serves, but you can see he's got some major weapons from the baseline as well.
Game Federer.
And an easy game. Federer holds at love. Well, tonight, NBC begins our week of the Wimbledon Late Night Show. The Wimbledon Update with Hannah, John, and Chris. It'll be at 11:35 Eastern and Pacific, followed by the Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Two players that have never met in a tussle in the round of 16.
15 love.
That's ace number 20. They have practiced once before, so Sampras knew well about Roger Federer's game. I thought it was interesting Sampras and Henman practiced together yesterday.
Yeah, I thought
as
that was
potential
strange.
quarterfinal opponents.
Sampras I could understand because he's practiced with Henman before and his record speaks for itself. But for a guy who's trying to get over the hump like Henman, I don't quite get that one.
Tim Henman, as you mentioned, he's sitting in the locker room right now watching this. Do you think he's got a rooting interest?
At this point, he's so stressed out. And he probably does have a rooting interest. I mean, it's probably like the good Goron and the bad Goron.
13, 15.
The good one is that I want to go out and beat the best. I want to beat Sampras in the quarters. I want to beat Martin. I want to win this legitimately. The bad one is, God, I hope Sampras loses so I don't have to deal with him. And the third one, now since Goran has 3 personalities he's talked about, the third one is just saying, think about Todd Martin.
Right.
Because Todd Martin is beating him here at Wimbledon.
Exactly. Todd's had a terrific career at Wimbledon. And remember, Todd Martin
40, 15.
had Andre Agassi on the verge of being out last year. 5-2 in the 5th set. Before having his second disappointing fold at the end of a Wimbledon match.
Head-to-head, by the way, Martin Henman is 3-2 for Todd. Have not played in a couple of years.
Oh. 40, 30.
That is The 7th double for Sampras.
Nicholas Kiefer, by the way, has gone up a break on Agassi in the second at 4-3. Looking to level their match.
Game Sampras.
And now the hold, so Sampras to 4-3 in the 4th.
Love.
Roger Federer blows an ace by Sampras to begin the 3-4 game in the 4th set. Sampras knowing that to win this match he would have to go 5 sets for the second time in 4 rounds, and he hadn't gone 5 sets at all in the last 2 years at Wimbledon.
Great pickup from Federer, but Sampras on the run, and that's what's won him to me a couple Wimbledons. It's the fact that he's been able to come up at this shot when he really needs it. The running backhand passing shot just guides it over the net.
Boy, big serve. Just when you find a little bit out about Federer, especially there at 3-4, 15-30.
I find it amazing. I was looking at his record, his career record going into this year was only 2 wins and 5 losses on grass. Here's Sampras. This could be the set right here.
That's, again, a huge point coming up. That's amazing, since we mentioned earlier, Federer won the junior boys singles and doubles here in the same year.
You look at his game, you certainly would think he could play on this surface.
Today he's dispelled any lingering questions about that.
No, he got some confidence. He played 2 tune-ups. He lost to Rafter in one, 7-6 in the third, quarterfinals, and he lost to Hewitt in the other one. Well, he knows a thing or two about playing on this surface in the semis, so I'd say he's as confident as he's ever been. Oh my goodness.
Another chance for Sampras.
Sampras.
Maybe it was a confident looking stroke, but he sure took his eye off the ball. Choosing to stay back.
Well, that's the court, John. That side of the court, he's had 3 straight huge first serves. 15-30, and 30-40, and on a break point. An ace from the deuce court. 16th ace.
Out.
That's out, and Federer saves the game. 2 break chances gone for Sampras, and it's 4-all.
Federer just a couple weeks ago got to the quarters at the Fringe. That was his best ever result at a slam. He lost to Clement, the Frenchman, and the Australian. Well, he got to the finals. We've shown how high up he is on the ATP as far as wins coming into this tournament. He is only 2 games away from beating Sampras.
Well, there is a moment and a time as you see the
15 love.
This is the Wimbledon history, although I have a hard time with that list.
I'm not familiar with William Renshaw's game. or Hugh Doherty.
There's a certain lack of
30 love.
Fairness about that list, William Renshaw won 7 Wimbledon titles in the 1880s when the defending champion had to only play 1 match.
So that means he could have won 7 Wimbledons in 13 matches.
Right. Let everybody else slug it out, and then when you guys decide who wants to play me,
Right.
give me a call.
That didn't change to the mid-20s, by the way. You mean I have to go back and play the whole draw again? The first guy that happened to. We should find who that. Okay, guys, get to work. Who was the first guy that won the title and had to go back and
40 love.
play another 7 to win it?
Forty 15. Game Sampras.
Sampras with a service winner. Now we'll try to marshal his energies for the break that he needs. Live, our coverage continues from the championships Wimbledon on NBC, and here's the first point on Federer's serve.
Watch this flick of the wrist by Sampras. Bounces just inside the line. Very, very tough shot to pull off. Maybe Agassi. Pressure time now for Federer.
Love 30.
Here's Sampras. Give him a little extra time to think about it. Well, he thought about it.
There have been 2 breaks of serve for each man in the match.
15-30.
None in this set.
Give Pete a taste of his own medicine.
Is Pete guessing there?
30.
I don't think he was guessing. No, he just. It's not a good idea to guess when you're on a tennis court. That sends a pretty poor message to your opponent. You want to, even if you aren't picking up, Ted, where the
14,
ball's
13.
going, you want him to think that you are.
Game.
Wow. You talk about giving Pete a taste of his medicine.
Right.
How many people have watched Sampras do that to them through the years? 4 huge serves from Love 30.
Let's see, 7 times 7 is 49.
5 games
At times, what,
total.
he'd won 4 the year he lost. That's 53, is that right? That's about how many. Agassi, by the way, has broken serve. Is now 5-all in the second set. Hewitt has lost the second set. They're in a set-all.
And here it is 5-all in the 4th. And for the 7-time Wimbledon champ, he's now basically entered sudden death.
15 love.
His turn.
If he loses his serve at all, it's likely over.
Sure like to see some second serves, Federer. There's that little
15
bit
all.
extra time to get that ball down low to Sampras's feet. do I mean
13,
little bit
15.
extra time? What exactly, how much time do you think that is between, say, how much extra time do you get between 120 and, say, 110-mile-an-hour serve? No, that's not it.
I would assume for most of us, it doesn't matter, but for top-level tennis players, probably feels like an eternity.
Game Sampras.
Has Sampras done his part? Now Federer will serve for a tiebreak. Center court Wimbledon. Pete Sampras, who last lost a match here in 1996 to Richard Krajicek, a match Sampras says he simply outplayed me. He did everything better than I that day, but it's the only day that's happened to him in the last 8 years here. And today he's bet his match in a 19-year-old Roger Federer from Basel, Switzerland, a junior champion here, and no secret in the tennis world, but there comes a day when an athlete gets introduced to the whole world as if it's their debutante ball, and they're brought out, and Roger Federer has a great chance to make that this day.
Hold serve, beat him in the tiebreaker. There you go. Could it possibly be that simple?
15 love.
Richard Krajicek, by the way, has been struggling with some big-time knee problems for the last few years, unable to participate. That's by far the best return Sampras has hit. As hard, as well placed. Gets right back into position. Pulls that forehand cross court. Comes over the ball.
Just mentioned the other big server MIA this year, Mark Philippoussis. Knee surgery.
(30-15).
A lot of happy people in the draw that those two guys aren't around.
Left for serve.
That's classic Sampras. A lot of people in the stands thought that ball was long. But Sampras, just to make sure.
30.
Well, Sampras now would love to do what Agassi just did on court 1. Kiefer was serving for the set. Agassi ended up winning it.
(40-30).
Big serving day for Federer. That's 20 aces. And a point for the tiebreak. Well, Pete Sampras' run as Wimbledon champion on the line in one tiebreak. He lost the first set tiebreak 9-7.
6 games on. Fourth set. Tiebreak.
Those are the tiebreak records this year on all surfaces. In this Wimbledon, Sampras is 1 and 2 in tiebreaks. All time 29 and 20 in Wimbledon tiebreaks.
Safe to say it's the biggest of Federer's career.
1-0 Sampras.
His championship here last year made him tennis's grandest champion.
Man, that's some heavy hitting. Sampras must have thought this point was over. Federer. The drop volley. The highest order there. And he misses a gimme.
Well, the moment and the opponent
2-1.
certainly brought out some great tennis from Federer today. And that's credit to Sampras. He can generate that.
I don't know if he's going to let him off the hook now.
He's 24. Andre Agassi said that just recently. He said that Sampras has brought out some of the tennis that I've only dreamed about playing. Well, this is his hallmark, John. Champion, raising his level.
But just also sensing that, I mean, it's obvious Federer tightened up. It's just that momentum change right there. I mean, that's the hardest serve he's hit in this tournament.
Sampras.
See Henman and Martin, tell them to sit down. Kick back. They got another set to go.
They'll change ends at 5-1 Sampras.
5-1 Sampras.
The only round of 16 match that hasn't gotten on the court, isn't being played right now, is the Henman-Martin match, still to be played after this one. Bridget Wilson's seeing things get a little tougher as you get a little older out there on the court.
She's filming a movie, has been filming during the spring and into the early summer in Germany. I wonder in her way if she thinks that's a lot less stressful than this.
Let second serve.
Well, a point for Federer, but now the set goes to Sampras's racket.
Sampras.
Two serves up 5-2.
Six-two Sampras.
We're 1 point away from momentary relief.
I'm still Wimbledon champion, at least for another set.
And he does live on. There's a fifth set ahead for Sampras and Federer. Live at Wimbledon on center court, Pete Sampras, the 7-time champion. So here we go after 3 hours and 3 minutes. One set to determine whether or not Pete Sampras can continue his reign at Wimbledon. Match board with 5 in a row. Win the 8th overall that no one's ever done.
Make it even tougher to catch him with 14 Grand Slam titles. He's already broken the record that Roy Emerson had for a long time. Now he's all alone at 13.
Do you think that's a Hank Aaron record?
I think it is.
And no one really can catch?
I wouldn't have thought, but see, of course, if you'd asked me that 10 years ago, I would have thought Roy Emerson's at 12 was going to be tough to catch.
Game, Federer.
Well, that's a great start for Federer. First game, 5th set.
First game.
Log on to wimbledon.nbcsports.com. In-depth coverage of the championships and a special interactive by Chris Evert comparing the games of the Williams sisters, something Chris spoke of earlier today. Plus, access real-time scoring sponsored by British Airways, all at wimbledon.nbcsports.com.
And what were you saying, by the way, about Richard Williams doing that commentary or something? He's got his own network or something?
Well, Richard was holding a microphone in his hand in the family box during Serena Williams' match early today. Court 18, and it almost looked like he was making a documentary and providing the narrative. He has made allusions to trying to take your job.
Really? Well, on the full run,
15-all.
smacks it up the line. Just barely clipped the back of the tape there.
We've got Richard Williams' audition set up.
Is
He's
it?
going to do the Ivanisevic-Safin match.
Okay. Well, we'll see how he does. Don't ask him. He might very well do it.
30-15.
Federer happy to be out there. Round of 16 against 7-time champion Pete Sampras. 5th set. 5:45 p.m. London time. And as I watch all these great players play here, it does surprise me they don't go at
40-15.
the player's body more often, because it is so tough to get out of the way. I mean, he's protecting himself here. In addition to trying to get the ball over the net, you'd think you'd see that more often.
Well, Sampras answers with a hold of his own for 1-all.
1 game on, final set.
He hasn't had to go to 5 sets very often at Wimbledon, but when he has, Sampras undefeated, 5-0.
Just as you were saying that, I wanted to go to Federer's career 5-set mark, which is a reputable 5 wins, 3 losses. Oh, they're up. Very well done. Thank you, boys.
Left for third.
Including this second round here at Wimbledon, Xavier Malisse took him to 5. The Belgian prospect. Now there in the 5th set, something took place I'd never seen. They point penalized Malisse, but not between the first and second serves. We see Sampras rip a forehand winner, but after the point had started, the linesman stopped play. And this is 4-all in the 5th set. Stopped play and said that Malisse had cursed at one of the other linesmen, muttered something under his breath because he was called for a football. That's a tough way to go.
During a point.
During a point, the point was stopped. Federer was given that point, broke serve, and held to win the match.
40-15. Game. Federer.
And the ace for Federer, 22 on this big serving afternoon. Live at Wimbledon on court 1, Andre Agassi, 2 sets up on Nicholas Kiefer. And they're at 2-all in the third. Agassi serving at 15-30. So Andre looking as if he will get through to play the winner of Hewitt Escudé. What a day at Wimbledon, and there's no greater scene that the main courts that stand side by side, court 1 and center court. You've got 2 of tennis's greatest players in action at the same time. Circular court 1 in the background, center court in the foreground.
They've done a great job here revamping the place. Court 1 is spectacular. The players' locker rooms are much better than they've ever been. Strawberries, the prices are cheaping the prices. So taking the air out of a balloon. That ball's coming at you in a hurry.
30 love.
Just open up that face rack. It's like you knifed it. Ball's not going to bounce at all when you put spin like this on it.
Love.
No tie breaks here in the 5th set. Who will crack first?
2018. 5th set.
Shock and Philippoussis last year. I think Shokin threw in the towel. Last year he lost 20-18 in the 5th. The year before it was 13-11 in the 5th to Courier. He got down 2 sets to 1 to Henman. Just said, forget it. I've had it. Lost that one in 4. It's always nice to pass Pete Sampras, but you'd like to get off to a better start in the game. Still 45. Escudé has gone up 5-2 in the 3rd. There it is. Every shot counts here. Every shot was absolutely first class from Federer there.
For Sampras. Pete Sampras trying to win his 100th match at Wimbledon on grass. Leighton Hewitt with the beginnings of what could be an outstanding career on grass.
And with Hewitt, that's a good effort considering it's really not a surface that he's that comfortable on yet. He's not a serve volleyer. He's struggling out there now. Federer gets the new balls.
15 love.
2 sets all. 2-all 5th set. Surprising that Sampras was in front of that.
It's the first time Pete Sampras has ever played 2 5-set matches in the same Wimbledon fortnight.
I like what Federer did there. Kept his cool. He said, I'm going to keep that ball really low. It's going to skid. It's a tough shot to hit a passing shot off of. Go to Sampras' backhand, which is his weaker stroke. Odds are high. I'm going to win the point. Also good for him that he's serving first, I think.
14 for Federer.
Definitely.
Is it an edge here that his first few service games have been easy? Does that matter at this point?
Don't look at me. Who knows what's going to happen?
Federer.
I just work here.
Pete Sampras, the greatest champion of the modern era in tennis, 7-time Wimbledon champion, involved in a huge struggle to stay alive against 19-year-old Roger Federer. With this match heading on into the 5th set, we are going to stay with you here on NBC until its conclusion. I don't know if we should root for 2018 or not. I may need a bathroom break.
Tim Henman and Todd Martin are not rooting for 2018.
That's right.
They'd like to get their match in, thank you, get it finished. If the weather holds, you could probably play tennis here to 9:15, 9:30. And they to emulate his game in a lot of ways.
15 love.
Now, unbelievably, this is a scenario that in all of his Wimbledons, Pete Sampras has never experienced. He's never come back from 2-1 down to win a match here.
That's
all
impossible.
All his 5-set wins here. He was ahead 2 sets
His
to 1.
63 tournament titles, his 7 Wimbledons.
Never at Wimbledon has he done.
Yes.
He won the 4th in a tie break, and we're on serve here in the 5th.
Love.
I bet you for Sampras, it's like looking in the mirror.
15.
It's such a similarity. The only difference, and I think Pete overcame this. Initially, Sampras wasn't a serve and volleyer on the first and second serve. Maybe as Roger gets a little bit older and wiser, you'll see more of that from him. No need to work that hard when you're that talented.
Pete Sampras, in an interview he gave recently and reflecting on his Wimbledon experience, spoke about how shaky his first few Wimbledons were. It took him a while to get mentally used to playing on grass. He said, you can't come here as a 19-year-old and click straight away. Roger Federer is 19.
Well, that's the key. Come at 17. So oh, boy, that clipped the top of the tape. That would have been a tough return to deal with.
14-30.
Of course, the ball was coming at 131 miles per hour. Look how close that came to being a winner.
Well done by Sampras. 4-all 5th set.
We've seen this before, and I had an idea this was coming again.
Full game score. 5-7.
He knows if I just get that over the net, the point's mine. I'm level here in the 5th set. 4-all. On we go.
And again, we repeat for those of you who may be accustomed to the U.S. Open. Particularly, there's no final set tie break here. In essence, this is like extra innings of a baseball game. One mistake will decide it. Or one great shot.
Agassi is broken back again.
15
Broke
all.
back in the second. Now here he is level in the third, looking to put away Kiefer. Leighton Hewitt's dumped the 3rd set down 2-1. Oh, I say it again, Sampras-like. See, most players would try to get that ball deep, which would give their opponent an opportunity to pass, but Federer just has that natural feel. Take a little something off it, Sampras can't even touch it. His heart's racing right now. This time he does slice it deeper, but not deep enough. But knows he still should have made that volley.
4-all 30-all.
Here we go. Steps in, smacks that away. 3.5 hours into the match, he's got a break point to try to serve this out.
The first real check in this match for Federer.
30-40.
Big time. That's top stuff. How was he feeling when he saw that return come into his feet right here? Sampras has got the chance for the pass. You just can't get it down far enough. Comes right back. Woo! The risk with that serve is you don't get it out wide enough. Too many guys have seen this one before. And they'll just guide it up the line, use the pace of the serve. Sampras, another break point.
Let for third.
Now that gets you even tighter. Another example where you can hear a pin drop. The crowd is booing and awing. Sampras, please, please go over.
Advantage Federer.
What an answer. Federer saves 2 break points. Learned a lot more about that young man today.
He's played a fantastic match.
That last game was what an ultimate test for him. Facing sudden death on 2 different break points and saved them both with good play. Not a mistake by his opponent. You mentioned it, John. The atmosphere is it's as if this was the final. When the player gets ready to serve, and it is so quiet.
I think that in itself, when you're at a place like this, an argument why there should be quiet during a point and just before, because there's such an anticipation to what's about to happen. You feel nervous. I mean, I feel nervous. The fans are knowledgeable tennis fans. They sense that the players appreciate that. They clearly clipped the line there. And to think there's 2 poor guys in the locker room still waiting to play, try to follow this. Martin Hedman, the only match that has not gotten on court yet.
So an easy hold at love for Sampras. And just think, this year, the All England Lawn Tennis Club made a change. They moved the start time up an hour.
5 games
Here in center
Good
court.
thing. It's going to be trouble for Martin Hedman to get their jobs done.
An hour earlier start time. No rain interruptions. And still we're past 6 p.m. in London.
$15 love. Let second serve.
That was a bit of a prayer for Federer, just hoping that ball was going to go long, but well in.
Do you think, John, these players right now
15
fight
all.
service stamina? There's such a problem on a grass court where the serve is so important.
I think there's nerves flying in your stomach. There's some fatigue. You've played 3.5 hours. You try to get ahead, but you know that in every service game, hold and then take your chance. Oh, that's too bad. What do you think his heart rate was when this ball did this? That split second before he realizes, all right, that's all I needed to do. 200.
Let first serve.
And physically, they seem pretty much fine. I mean, Federer, hours ago, it seems, Federer had some treatment from the ATP trainer, Doug Spreen. He complained a bit about a groin pull or strain or stiffness. Sampras looks to be physically okay.
If we see fatigue, I guess the question I had was, will we see it in the serve? When you've served this hard for this long?
Well, let's hope that we don't see it and that this match doesn't end on like a double fault or something as high quality as it's been throughout.
Well, Federer holds for 6-5 in the 5th set. And he says it's really the one championship that still motivates him, the one he'll continue to play as long as he feels he can serve.
And then he'll be here another 10, 15 years if it's just that.
Let second serve.
Gets a second serve, that's a good place to go too, because you're playing it safe. It's the lower part of the net where you're returning it, and if you catch it a little late, the ball will still go in. It's a little difficult to tell where Roger was even hitting it, but the key is just get it in right now.
Both players have had very good first serve percentages in this set.
That was 2 points away.
So that's the advantage you mentioned, John, that Federer has in this set by serving first. If he gets to a break point, it's a match point.
That's right. You better believe that right now Pete Sampras is tightened up. This is where he needs those first serves, right now. And there's one. I mean, you really do come to expect it. I'm still, and we all are waiting. Is it ever going to happen where he doesn't do it? Will it be this game?
What must he be thinking right now? At a moment that Pete Sampras has rarely faced at Wimbledon.
15.
Double match point for Federer.
There will be a new king at Wimbledon. 19-year-old Roger Federer has dethroned Wimbledon's greatest champion.
You talk about doing it in style. Man, what a final game.
And look at the emotion. The enormity of what he has just achieved.
case you're wondering, there's a new kid on the block.
But he did not play at all like a kid today. And this will be some moment. The walk-off for the 7-time champion. And the man who hopes to succeed him. He says farewell only for now. He hopes to be back. Pete Sampras, I'm sure everyone here hopes will be back as well.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Unbelievable match.
3 years ago, he won the junior championship here. And now, a month shy of his 20th birthday, he has defeated a 7-time champion. And in the most pressure situation, a fifth set after he saved 2 break points of his own that would have given Sampras a chance to serve it out. Well, that's one, John, that will go down in the laurels in the grass of center court. One of the great matches here.
And you better believe if he plays Henman in the next round, that's exactly where he'll be on Wednesday.
And for Pete Sampras, who hoped that he could literally flip the switch after, for him, a disappointing year and recapture glory at Wimbledon. Although he played well today, you say, John, in the final analysis, he was outplayed?
Yep, he really was. Let's give credit to where credit is due. I mean, Roger Federer is going to be in the top 10, and right now he's gone from a very good to a great player.
And for the spouse, the agonizing look. There was such joy last year when Pete Sampras made history on this court. But today the joy goes to a man still a teenager.
You can't still be a teenager.
That's, I guess, on paper only. Played like a man today. Now, you mentioned earlier when you broke Bjorn Borg's winning streak here, he almost appeared relieved. I don't think Pete Sampras felt that way, John.
Doesn't look that way. But Pete obviously has a record that I can't imagine will ever be matched. That run he had, and you know that sooner or later it had to end. Sooner or later.
Well, it has happened sooner than he or most anyone else would have dreamt. Pete Sampras, 7-time Wimbledon champ, out in the round of 16s at the hands of Roger Federer. We're back on NBC in a moment.